Yeah, thank you all for joining the meeting. Let me introduce myself. So, I have overall 13 plus years of experience in software development, specifically in areas related to Microsoft technologies. Microsoft SharePoint in particular. Now, currently, I'm working with Power Platforms. Today's session, we are going to concentrate more on this Power Automate. In this session, we are going to see three different types of flows. One will be a scheduled flow, and another will be Outlook trigger flow, and then SharePoint trigger flow. This is the homepage for Power Automate. I'm not going to take any theory session, so it will be more of practical, which you can apply in your work environment on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so just to begin with a simple Power Automate. So what are the types? How you can handle the errors? So everything I will go step by step. Practice it. Okay, let's start into the first power flow which we are going to create now. So before starting that one, so our session is planned for close to 1 hour. I know we are delayed by some 15 minutes now. So I'm currently in Sydney time zone. So it's 5:16 p.m. First thing to start, I want to know, can we do some automation? Like once this session is ends, I want someone to notify me. Okay, if it is 6 o'clock, just let me know. Okay, this session is going to end. It's been 45 minutes. We are going to end the session. Okay, this is a manual ask. I'll be asking you guys to tell me, can we first automate that one? Like every 15 minutes there will be a reminder that will be sent that okay, 15 minutes is completed, so that we will know that okay, there is some we are progressing for every 15 minutes, and we will get a notification as well. In the home page, there will be in the left side navigation, you can see my flows were there. In this you can see the options: cloud flows, desktop flows, and shared with me. At the top you can see new flow was there. Okay, first of all, there are three main types which we are going to discuss today. One is automated, instant, and scheduled. Can you tell me which flow which we can select now, which type we can select now, so that we'll get a reminder every 15 minutes?
You have to schedule, I think.
Schedule, schedule cloud flow.
Yes, right. So we are going to create a scheduled work cloud flow. Can you tell some example, like when can we go for an automated one? Automatically it should trigger. Do you have any example or anything in your thought in your day-to-day activity?
Automated can be like regular actions that can be notified.
Yeah, because automated means if you perform some activity and based on that activity, it should trigger something. Okay. Suppose if you submit a record, then it should automatically send an approval email to your manager and seeking an approval task. Okay, whether to approve or reject. So this is an automated task. Okay. And scheduled means I said every 15 minutes there can be a reminder. So there can be other schedules also. Every day, morning 8 o'clock, we have to send a mail to the team. Okay. Or at the end of the day, you send an scheduled email at 5 p.m. Saying that can you please update your EOD status, end of the day status to the team, what you have done so far in the day. So these are all scheduled to run at particular time. And instant, I'll come back again. Okay, this is like at any point it can run. Okay, anyone can run it manually. So automated, there should be some action needs to be performed that will trigger the flow, that is automated. Instant, you can keep it as manual, and scheduled, you already know the clock symbol at scheduled interval of time it will run. Okay, so these are the main three flows in the Power Automate one. Okay, no need to worry about the desktop flow for the beginners. No need to worry about, and this templates, visual template also no need to worry. Okay, these are the main types which you should concentrate. in Power Automate. So what is this template is for? This template is Microsoft has already given a lot of inbuilt flows. Okay, you can go and check when you have a free time. This will be a good learning to go through this each of the templates. I'll just go back here. You can see all the templates here. You can just go through each task and you can see how these are all given, and you can create it in your environment also, and you can see how that was implemented, the flow. When you have a free time, definitely go through all these templates at least once and try to, whichever is interesting to you guys, you can just try to implement that flow. It's a template, so you no need to do any coding. It is already pre-coded and kept here. You can just run it and see how it is all working. Okay, now let's come back here. What we decided was, let's send a reminder every 15 minutes. So I clicked on schedule flow. Giving a name, reminder flow. Okay, so what time it needs to be scheduled? So now it is 5:22 p.m. So let me select 5:30 p.m. to start. And also where you can see there is a repeat every month, week, day, hour, minute, seconds. So let's go for minutes only. That's what we agreed. So now you can schedule for every month as well, monthly task or weekly task, daily task or hourly task, even minutes as well. Okay. And while scheduling this cloud flow, you should be very careful, because when you schedule this timing, this will be in your local zone. If you are in India, as most of people are in India, this particular time will be yeah, the one which you will be running in your local time. Okay, let's see. I'm going to click on create. Okay, you can see there is a flow created, and at the top you can see there is a save button, flow checker, test, and new designer. If you have already worked with Power Platform in the Power Automate, there are two designs where there are existing old design where there. I'm just switching to old design. This is how the UI looks like. Okay, now Microsoft has introduced a new design. Okay, I'll just go and add an action here. After every 15 minutes, I want to send an email notification. So this is an action. You can see a lot of actions you can go through when you're free. Okay, there is an Outlook action, OneDrive, there will be SharePoint will be there. Now what we are going to send an Outlook action only, send an email. You can just search for it. You can see there is an Microsoft Office 365 Outlook, send an email action was available. Just click on this one. So when you send an email, you have to select a to account to whom you have to send and what is the subject. Okay, let me get the email ID. So this is our admin account. Um, Reminder every 15 minutes. For time seeing, I'm just putting the same in the subject because subject and body it's a mandatory. And apart from that, there are a lot of things you can do like CC, BCC, attachments, everything you can do. But let's keep it very simple. We are just sending an email saying that subject reminder every 15 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to save this. So when I say it's saved, you can see in another 4 minutes you should receive an email. It's 5:26, and before that, I'll just show you one more thing. Okay, let me open the Outlook as well, so that we will get to know whether an email is triggered or not. Okay, so this is the account that tech admin account. Okay, so let's see if we get a reminder after 4 minutes. And before that, I'll show you at scheduled one what else you have to consider. So you can see the time zone here. When I created a new flow, I told you you have to give a frequency and the time to start, so that will be in your local time zone. But once you have entered, you can see it will be in that UTC time. Okay, so don't get confused with this time, because when you once you have scheduled it, and if you want to change this, then you will be coming here and then you have to change this time, when it has to start or when it has to, every frequency you have to change it here. So don't get confused. So current Sydney is 11 hours ahead. So it was 6:30 a.m. So now it was 5:30 p.m. In Sydney. So that's the difference. So you have to calculate in your own time zone, and then you can check this. Or you can, there is a time zone is also here. You can select the particular time zone, and then you can check it once. Is it triggering as per your existing your current time zone, and then you can go for the original version. Okay, you can play with this time zone and then start time. Now you know how to schedule a workflow. Okay, next, an automated cloud flow. So when I say automated, okay, let me click on this. Let's create one automated flow. So I said a trigger. If you all can see my screen, like at 5:30, we got our first email. So we didn't add anything else, just a subject and body. So you can also try to schedule and then get this flow running. Let's see, at every 15 minutes we should get. So next should be at 45, 5:45 and 6 o'clock Sydney time. So we should get every 15 minutes some reminder email should be triggered here. Okay. Now, next one will be very interesting. Okay. Suppose I'll tell you one scenario where you are getting an email notification from someone. You should take an action. And suppose if you have forget or if you have missed that email, it will be it's a critical email. So what we can do, we can put a Teams message saying that okay, this email has received, can you action on it. Or maybe I'll put a scenario like this. You are getting an email notification. Okay, so this is a scenario requirement. You get an email notification to your team with a subject saying some process has failed. Okay, for example, let me show you. Okay, for this I'll go to another one account. So now we are going to concentrate on this automated flow. And this scenario is like, from when you receive an email in the Outlook, there should be a flow that needs to be triggered. And you should get a Teams message. This is what our requirement is going to be. Let's see here. Okay, I'll use this manager account. So some of the account I have added some users. Let me log in to manager's account. Okay. So I have selected our tech admin email ID. I'm mentioning process failed. Okay. So just for example, I'm adding some keyword here. So process failed is the subject. Okay. Whenever there is an email from your manager and saying that the subject is process failed, then you're supposed to check that email immediately, and you need to action on it. Okay. So this is the email. Suppose if someone is not, this can be sent to your entire team. Okay, someone has to respond to this email, or someone has to tell the manager that we have taken some action. Okay, suppose if there is some person who is in your team who is currently online, and he missed to check this mail, then it will be a problem. Maybe some immediate action or something needs to be taken immediately. So let's create some flow, some trigger that will create an message, Teams message, saying that this particular email has been received. Okay, you know what is the trigger? It's a trigger from an Outlook. When a new mail arrives in the Outlook. Okay, I'll give you Outlook trigger. Okay, so whenever there is an email gets, then we should trigger this flow. I'm going to create this flow. Whenever there is a new mail, you should create this. So it shows invalid connection. So this is another one which you have to check. Invalid connection, which means like in which mailbox we have to check it. Okay, I'll change the connection. I'll give the tech admin. So when I give the tech admin, it will check the inboxes of this tech admins. So if you have created any folder, or if you have any mail goes to that folder, that also we can configure it here. Okay, when a new mail arrives. Now I'm going to add an action. So in the Microsoft Teams, post a message in a chat or in a channel. Okay, before that, let me open the Teams as well. Okay, so this Teams is in a tech admin team. So you can see there is a my team I have created. So in this, there is a group where I have added some users, like manager account also is part of this particular group. Now let's post a message to this group. Post a message in a chat or a channel. So you want to post it as a user or flow bot, you can select it. Post in. I'll put a group chat. So in Teams, you can have a channel as well as the group chat. That is Teams or group chat. I'm going to select the group chat. So which group chat? I have already created my team group chat. So similarly, your in office also you would have created so many groups like this. So where you want to post it, you can just select that. So now I want to post the message whichever is there in the email dynamically. Okay, so you can go here. You can select whatever the details from whom it came. I can just say that from dynamic content, from going to add subject, subject, add, then body of the message, mail. So when I say dynamic content, you can see whenever you go to dynamic content, whatever actions before this, so we are adding it in the post message, whatever the action before this, that will be appearing in the dynamic content. So you can select anything from that particular. Suppose if you have one more, send an email or get from the SharePoint list, that action will come under the dynamic content. Okay, so now I'm going to just save this. So you can see, are you able to get the context? Whenever there is an email comes, there will be a message to the teams saying that this particular email has been arrived. Okay, let's put some message, email right from below user, take action. Okay. Okay, now let me save this. So now we are going to send an email from manager's account. This is a test mail subject. I'm just sending this mail. Okay. I'm coming back to, so you can see there is an email received from manager and says that this is a test email. Let's see if this gets posted here. And before that, let's go back here. Okay. Can you all see here in the Teams message, whatever we have given the message, it's all copied and sent here. Now let's get back to the flow. This is another important one. So now we have seen two flows, sample flows. One, we have created a flow that is scheduled one, and another is whenever there is an email comes to this particular account, there will be a message that will be posted to Teams. So totally two flows now we have configured. Okay, let's go back to the flow. So when you go to my flows, you can see these are the flows, right? You want to see the history, how it is triggered, if there is any failure or not. You can just click on that flow. You can see these are the options. 28-day run history. You can see what is the status, when it is triggered. So all these options will be helpful in your real-time scenarios, where you will have multiple histories will be there and sometimes status will be failed. So you can click on that particular flow and see why it failed and in which step it has failed. And similarly, all these options you just go through one by one. If you want to turn off the flow, you can turn it off. And connections. So why this connection is important? How this Outlook is connected, with which account we are using it. That's tech admin account. And for Teams connection, for the Teams connection, which account we are using it. So these are the connections and co-owners. So if you want to add more of your team members, you can add it here, so that the owners also will receive an email whenever there is a failure of this flow. So there will be a report that will be sent to the owners of the flow. So it is better to add the teams as a owner, team DL as the owner, so that this particular flow will be shared with everyone in your team. If there is any issue, anyone can come and look into this. Okay, so that's why you have to add the responsible owner, not only you. If you're adding only you, then it will create an issue saying that when you leave the organization, then no one else will be able to come and modify this flow if it fails. Okay, so it's always risky to have single owner. It's better to have the team DL as the owner, or you can add multiple owners, so that if some person leaves the organization, still this flow will have a owner who can come and edit this. So this co-owner is also a very important one, and you can see all those details here in this page, like what is the type we are doing it, when it is created, modified, everything. And if you want this flow not to trigger, then you can turn it off. So this is the home page of this particular flow. Suppose I want to see how this flow has succeeded. Let's go click on this particular history. You can see all the informations how it triggered. Okay, so you can see when a new mail arrives, this one is succeeded. You can see the green tick is there. Then post a message. So whatever the message, everything it will get captured here. You can see what message has. This is a test email. Email arrived from the below users. This is a test email. So everything will be captured here. You can see, even if it's failed, you will have a red mark here, and you will get the message also why it failed. Okay. So we got some email. Okay. So our first scheduled automate flow has triggered again after 15 minutes. That's 5:45 now. Whenever there is an entry created in one of the SharePoint, how we can trigger a flow? Now I'll give SharePoint trigger. Okay. We have seen already how Outlook, whenever there is an email in the Outlook, how it get posted into the Teams channel. Now, whenever there is an entry into the SharePoint list, like a new record is created, you can select that particular item. When an item is created, this is the trigger. So I'm going to create. I have to create a connection. How this SharePoint can be connected. So using which account? So I have to, in the bottom you can see there is a change connection was there, and I am going to select tech admin. So when I select tech admin, it will show all the sites which this tech admin has access to in the drop down. So I'm going to select one of the site, demo site. Inside that, if you click on the drop down list, you can see what sites are all available in this particular site. I'm going to click on employee. Okay, let's go here. So this is the site. You can see there is an employee SharePoint list was there, and there are some entries were there. So whenever you create a new employee, let's see, let's send an email and notification and see whether it is triggering or not. Let's go here. Whenever a new item is created, in where it is created, in this particular site, in this particular list, how it is connected using this particular tech admin. Now let's add an action again. Okay, we can create even approvals also and control also. Let's send an email, simple one first. So I'm going to send an email action. Office 365 Outlook. I can see send an email action was there. Same. So now I can give some ID. Okay, I'll send an email to manager account saying that new employee joined the team. Okay, I just keep that itself as here, or I can add any data from here from the dynamic content. So when I say dynamic content, that is from the above one when an item is created. So I can create saying that employee ID and employee name. I'm going to click on this FX, go to dynamic content. I can add anything. So whenever that item is created, so you can't see this name here. You can see this, click see more, so that you can see all the columns here. So I think there must be something first name. I can search for it. Name. Okay, I'm just adding the last name now for time being. Okay, body is required. I'm going to save this. Okay, you can see your flow is ready to trigger and we will test it. Let me go to this demo site and I'm going to create first name. I'm just going to give some name. So I'm just giving test name. Okay, I'll give the first name as first name itself, employee ID as some number 12345, and this last name only we are going to capture in the email. So this will be just some entry because as of now we are not utilizing this email ID. So I'm just giving some test. I'm just giving developer and I'm going to save this. So you can see a new record has been created in employee SharePoint list in this demo site. Let's see how our flow is triggering. Let's go back to this flow. So SharePoint trigger is the one which we created. Let's click on that. You can see currently it has not run anything. Let's go to all run. Let's wait for some more time if it gets triggers. But did you get this how it was working from SharePoint if you're adding one entry? So similarly, you can send it for an approval flow as well. You can add in the flow that you can add a manager name and then you can send an email to the manager saying that can you approve this? Okay, you can see there is a succeeded was there. Let's create click on this and see how the flow triggered. When an item is created, it is sending an email to whom? It's a manager account. And what is the body? New employee is joined. You can see that employee ID is taken and employee name, that last name is also taken. Okay, let's see in that. This is the manager account Outlook. Okay, you can see there is an email triggered here. New employee joined. Can you see this flow how it is triggering? You can send anyone in the two email and then you can send it. Okay, so this is one of the SharePoint triggers. So totally three flows we have seen. One is the flow scheduled one, and then from Outlook, if you receive any email, then it will send an email chat. Then if you enter anything in the SharePoint list, any new record created, then it will send an email. Okay, so you can see there are two emails came reminder every 15 minutes. So that email also is one of the trigger. That's why it's captured and sent here. So far, you have any questions with this flow?
It's clear, sir. There is no doubt.